Alright guys, welcome back to some more of a Requiem for Innocence. I want to thank you all for the love and support you continue to show this series. As usual guys, many thanks. Let me tell you guys right now though, this is the longest game I've played yet. I mean seriously, we're like on what, maybe part 90? Or early 90s? I don't know anymore. I count it as part of the main story anyway, so you know, all adds up to around that amount of episodes I put up so far. And then there's also, as we all know, Reincarnation, which I heard was an anime. I don't know if it's an interactive anime, but we'll find out after we get through this one. But so far guys, I'm still enjoying this game. I love the story, and I especially love knowing the background of the characters and how they lived prior to meeting the main characters in the main story. So this is all interesting, and now we're learning about what it takes to become a lord, and it is taxing. So guys, hope you all continue to enjoy watching, and let's get back to it. Alright guys, and we are back. Ow, you're gonna yank my arm off. I wouldn't have to if you would move. Listen very carefully. You stay in this room until everything is blown over. Do not open the door for anyone. But, is this what I think it is? You're only to leave the room if I tell you it's safe, or the matter goes completely silent. And if someone breaks down the door, tell them you're being held captive by the Lord. My predilections are well known among the people. No one will suspect you're lying. I must go now. Farewell, Jaren. I rather enjoyed our time together. Wait! Don't go! I've got an idea, Francois. We could escape through that window there. Tie the sheets up into a rope and climb down. Then we can go somewhere far away where nobody will find us. I do not have that liberty. Why not? Because I am the lord of this land. I was born to be the lord. I murdered my own family to keep my claim to this title. And I will not abandon it until my final breath. I was a fool and a tyrant, neither a great leader nor a great man, but still I bear the responsibility of my role. Fleeing is not an option. I never thought you were a tyrant. The rest of my lordship would disagree with you. I used fear as a weapon of control, murdering slaves for fun and prioritizing my own desires over the needs and lives of my people. Do you have a better word for what I am? Whereas you grasp the difference between good and evil but lack the requisite emotions to give those concepts meaning. I knowingly chose to stray from the path of righteousness. Didn't you say you could run things just fine with fear? That it was very effective? Indeed, you can run things exceedingly well with fear, though I never said you could do so forever. I first saw signs that people were turning against me 3 years ago. While I did what I could to crush the seeds of revolt before they grew, it would seem I missed a few. If you knew this was coming, couldn't you have stopped it? I've traveled so far down the wicked path it would be nigh impossible for me to find my way back into the light. Which means all I could do is continue on and see what awaited me at the end. I could never play the benevolent ruler, though. Those people are inscrutable to me. They all appear to be either ravenous beasts or feeble-minded swine. Were I able to have any love for my own people, perhaps things could have turned out differently. I can't stay in here and wait, Francois. I want to be with... You will do as I say, girl. What's gotten into you, Jaren? Death is supposed to be meaningless to you. You do not experience sorrow over loss. But I... Should I not come back? Go on smiling? Do not think I will simply let them walk in and kill me. I have dozens of skilled guards and I can handle a sword myself as well. Far better than any mere peasant. They're getting closer. Now remember, you are not to leave this room, understood? You are my property, and property does not defy the will of its master. And what if I do come out? Jaren, you will not be of any help to me out there. And should you obstruct me in any way, I will not hesitate to kill you. You do not have a choice. Is that clear? Francois. What? Time is running short. I love you. I will always place myself, the Lord Jean-Francois Barnier, above anything else in the world. And you second. Wait. Second? That's kind of super crazy. Wow, isn't it? Oh, I'm shaking a bit here. I've never felt this way before. Is this what being scared feels like? Huh. This is a lot worse than I imagined. It hurts real bad, like someone's sitting on my chest. I can hardly even breathe right. But it's kind of really wonderful. No, I can't do this. I can't be away from him. Okay, now we know how she left. A Requiem for Innocence, Part 2, What's Past is Prologue. Wherefore should the heathen say, Where is now their God? But our God is in the heavens. He hath done whatsoever he hath pleased. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. And I can't say anything more. They that make them are like unto them, so is every one that trusteth in them. Psalms 115 to 8. 'Tis a great shame what happened to Ginevra. The post-revolution merrymaking continued into the wee hours of the morning. After things settled down and the men returned to the city, an elderly man calling himself Audelon showed himself before me. Despite his evident age, the man stood tall and spoke in clear, confident voice. Looking into his deep sapphire eyes, I felt as though I could see everything he had borne witness to in these walls engraved within them. Audelon revealed himself as an ally of the revolution and as having been in contact with Ginevra. Is it Audelon or Audelon? I don't know how you pronounce these names, man. Had things proceeded as initially planned, she was to take power and build the land anew with my assistance, but great change is never without its cost. Nevertheless, I am unspeakably grateful for how swiftly you managed to dethrone the former lord. Without your heroic efforts, we would still... Enough with the ass-kissing. Tell me who you are and exactly what you're hoping to get out of me. No need to be so apprehensive, I assure you. I am more than happy to tell you everything you wish to know. I serve as consul to the late Lord Jean-Francois Barnier, and 'twas I who added the revolution from within the manor's walls, coordinating with Ginevra on the outside. So that'd make you the one who ordered the gates open for us then. Verily. Furthermore, I arranged to have a number of guards turn coat. Well, you did fine work. We would have lost a lot more men without your efforts. I have to ask though, where were you while it was actually happening? I don't recall seeing you anywhere. I took the liberty of finding myself shelter. How fortunate for you to be able to kick back and watch, only to crawl out of your hole after we relieved the lord of his head. Might you perchance be suggesting this old bag of bones take up the blade? I would only serve as an impediment to your success. 30 years ago mayhap, but hardly could I point a sword straight today. Or perhaps you would say that I, as a supporter of your cause, should have been present for the occasion regardless. But of little aid, I would have been merely dying a fool's death, becoming naught but another body upon which the living would trek. You're skilled with your words, old man. Of course, 'tis my job. There is but one service I can provide you, my knowledge. Knowledge? Meaning you intend to continue to serve as the Lord's Consul? For what other reason would I lend my hand to this revolution? You expect me to just take your word to trust you? Surely you're aware that you cannot rightfully govern this territory without the acknowledgement of the neighboring count and the king. I have knowledge and connections which would prove invaluable in establishing you as a legitimate and qualified to inherit the throne. Yes, I know. I did not saunter into here blind. I still hadn't figured out how I would accomplish that, but... Wait. I recognize you from somewhere. I remember. You were here during the revolt 3 years ago. You're the one who helped Barnier escape. 'Twas indeed I. That's all the more reason not to trust you. You sat back and watched not a damn peep as a clown of a lord left his people to rot. Like hell I'm letting you be my consul. You are an astute young man, but still far too green for your own good. And you fail to fully separate yourself from your old life. Excuse me? I assure you I was no more fond of Lord Barnier's predilections than you. But as I am sure you are aware, he was quick to send his opponents off to the gallows. And he would be no more merciful to his consul than a slum dweller. My objections would have ensured but one thing, a swift, meaningless death. Moreover, you knew it was not yet the time and stayed your hand, nay? I too had reached the same conclusion and was awaiting the appropriate time. The perfect time to arrange the board. You must dispense with the childish emotion that controls you. Act exclusively in service of that which most benefits you. And you cannot do so without someone to guide you. You are still merely a fledgling, young man. You know not up from down in this vast new world. And you have neither an army nor the weapons with which to defend yourself. Should you go out into the world unaccompanied, it will snap your neck before you feel the hands upon your skin. And what benefits are you hoping to reap from this? You're not acting out of a love for the people, that much is obvious. I chanced to fulfill my duties as consul to the Lord. My expertise went largely unused under Lord Barnier's rule. 'Twas a deeply frustrating time for me. Though if I may be blunt, perhaps I should say that I would like to die knowing I have accomplished something worthwhile in my life. I can promise you I have no intention of mistreating the people for my own personal amusement. You've still given me no reason to actually trust you. Allow my work to speak for my words. Allow me to proffer onto you my knowledge, that it might be of service to you. I don't completely trust this man, or do I think I ever will? He's after something. Probably wants to use me as a puppet under the guise of assisting me as my consul. He makes a good point, though. I'll need someone to show me the ropes if I want any chance of governing effectively. Have you come to a decision? Okay. It's a pleasure to have you, Audelon. At your service. That said, try anything, and you'll be out the door faster than you can blink. Understood. Good. Now, if I may, I would like to offer my first instruction. And what would that be? You will need to make a formal proclamation of your succession. There are still many among your people who know not who you are. Thus, you must declare yourself the rightful heir, the lost son of Lord Barnier's predecessor. You must assume a new name. Say again. The name by which you were known before is but a veil behind which you guarded your noble identity, and the time has come now for you to reclaim your true self. Hold on a second. I'm not... Yes, I am aware of your lineage. Okay, then what name do you suppose I should take? You shall assume his name. Jean-Francois Barnier. Is this some kind of a sick joke? You're insane if you think I'm taking on that psychopathic killer's name. Why on green earth? Why on this green earth would I ever want to call myself after the man I dethroned? Among the nobility, names are oft passed on, from father to son, from brother to brother. But why his name? A name associated with fear and tyranny. Are you trying to hobble me before I take my first step? You will remove the stain his deeds have left upon the name. Lord Barnier killed his father, brothers, and all their families and attendants, as Ginevra likely told you. Why do you suppose he killed them? Are you mocking me, old man? He killed them because he was a damn madman. Lord Barnier was not the rightful heir. Excuse me? He was merely a stand-in to be disposed of and quietly replaced when came the time. However, he grew voracious for power, fixated on becoming the Lord himself. So he killed everyone who stood in his way, both the Barnier family and the attendants who knew the truth. Though he failed to realize that the Lord had sired another son. You, the rightful inheritor of the Jean-Francois Barnier name. Man, try saying that fast. So that's our story, huh? I'm not the fake. He was. When the truth is revealed, the people will be enraptured, and crucially, the damage to the Barnier family name will be minimized. After all, the Barniers were but victims of this charlatans of avarice. As you are to take on the Barnier family name, it is your benefit that the reputation you inherit is as unblemished as possible. Furthermore, you have nothing to gain from keeping your present name. No longer are you the man you were in the slums. You must become a new man entirely. Enough. I need time to think. A day. Give me just one. I cannot. 'Tis a matter of the utmost importance. You must act swiftly, for the opportunity will pass and the tides turn against you anon. The people are on your side for now. However, should you fail to expeditiously demonstrate that you as their new lord are likewise on their side, you will find yourself with more than that counts upon your doorstep. You must decide now. Sir. Alright? I'll swallow my pride. I knew there would need to be some changes before I embarked on this road, so this isn't unexpected, just moving quicker than I was prepared for. A wise decision. Now, before we move on to the next order of business, I must ask, are you physically well enough to remain on your feet for a short while longer? You will need to stand before your people and make a speech. Nevertheless, it is evident that you are wounded from your battle, and it would reflect poorly on your accomplishments were you to collapse during your first appearance. I'll be fine. I can hold myself up long enough to give a speech. Oh ho ho! Youth. What a wonderful thing. You must be sure to get your rest once you have finished. I will arrange for the best doctor to come examine you. Appreciated. Now then, let us be off. You need merely repeat after me. Hey, did you hear the new Lord's speech? Barnier was a fraud this entire time. What? No way. But guy, I should have skipped work and gone up the matter to see it. You still got a chance. Go down to the square. The town crier is spreading the word of the whole thing. Did you hear the new Lord led the charge in the revolution? And he was the real Jean-Francois Barnier. I heard. I was there for his speech. He's so young. And easy on the eyes to boot. They say he spent years living in the slums hiding his true identity. That must have been so difficult for him. At long last, we're free from our suffering. Free from the terror of Lord Barnier. Cheers for the new Lord. Oh, give me a break. You're no damn Lord. How goes it, Maria? You look like you ain't slept in weeks. Nah. Where's your smile, girl? Today's the day for celebrating. Oh, go screw yourself. What? You're the one who pushed him into this. Huh? What are you getting so pissy about? You pressured him into this dumbass revolution into becoming the damn Lord. Whoa, that ain't what happened at all. Jacopo's the one who proposed the whole thing. Bull! He was trying to talk sense into you the midsummer festival. God, for the love of cripes, what crawled up your ass and died? That bad... the bad insane asshole's gone, and now we got someone on our side in power. What's there to complain about? Man, it's so hard to... Is there anything in that meathead of yours? What was that? You do realize he can never come back now, right? He's the Lord. He's gone, and he's gone for good. Up there in that manor all by himself. And you dragged him up to the top of that hill and left him there. I get that you want someone to take this out on, but Jacopo's also the one who proposed becoming the Lord. No. I didn't push a damn thing on him. He showed up one day with a ring bearing the Barnier family crest. Then told everyone he was royalty and had claim to the throne. This is insane. It was his words that sparked the revolution. There's no way. Jacopo is royalty? You need to get a better sense of humor. My thoughts exactly at first too, but then I saw the crest in the ring. It's the real deal. Did you miss the whole part when he put on the ring in front of everyone before he stormed the manor? His whole spiel about being the heir? That was pretty damn convincing if I do say so myself. You seriously think I was there for some stupid pep talk? Ain't you his friend? I feel like a friend should be rooting for success, you know? That's what I'm doing, I can say that much. Anyway, I got a hot day with a couple of cakes, so I'm out of here. Unless you want to come with. We're gonna be partying all night long. Like hell, I'm coming. Just thought I'd ask. Try not to look so sour all the time, okay? You're much prettier when you're smiling. Choke on her. Duly noted. Later. I can't root for him because he's my friend. I know better than anyone that he's in over his head. All I can do is pray for you, Jacopo. Pray that you'll always be the Jacopo we know. That this won't change you. We're still friends, right? Even if we're worlds apart now. After giving me just enough time to recover, Adeline quickly got to work instructing me in everything I needed to know to be Lord. My first priority was to revitalize the city, cleaning up the mess my predecessor had left it in. As much as I wanted to ensure that everyone had food and water, it simply wasn't possible to make it happen overnight. We would need to significantly expand our farmland, build additional granaries, repair existing irrigation canals, not to mention crack down on crime and disorder. There was so much to do it was almost dizzying, but the last thing I had time to do was whine. That said, none of it could happen with a snap of the fingers. It would take time and manpower, which meant we would have to use existing stores in the meantime. I asked the people, particularly among the upper class, to relinquish ownership of their stockpiles for me to redistribute among the population. That would allow everyone to make it through the transitional period, I figured. Naturally, though, not everyone was happy with the arrangement. But the cries of dissatisfaction were drowned out by cheers of support when I explained that it was for everyone's sake, that we would need to band together to carry the whole city through what would be a rocky transition. As I was patting myself on the back for a job well done, Autolan shook his head and said, "To hold a year at most. We have enough stores to last at least 3 years, though. 2 if we want to be extra safe. They will set your manor ablaze long before the stores run dry." Excuse me? Why would they? I'm obviously doing everything in my power to revitalize the city, and I was the one who freed them from the claws of the tyrant. The people see only the results. Though they accept your promises of improvement now, if in a year's time they do not see those words bear fruit, their trust in you will wither away. That you came from the slums is viewed now as a heroic rise to power, but your past will soon be turned against you, used to delegitimize you. You must produce for them tangible results. God, I knew this wouldn't be easy, but still. It boils my blood to think my predecessor sat around his ass all day. Did he even accomplish anything in his entire time as a lord? I can think of only one true positive effect of his regime. His support for the arts. His what? Surely you have seen the numerous pieces of art adorning this manor's walls. He would often treat himself with works from the finest artists and artisans in the land. Oh, you mean all those paintings and vases and fancy drapes? Bunch of worthless junk, every last bit of it. None of it will do anything to fill the people's empty stomachs. Twould seem you would not understand the value of art. Well, I did grow up in the slums. Do you know what purpose art serves? To make you feel better? It's nice to have around, but not much more than that. Bribes, my boy. Those who hunger for power similarly hunger for a ways to flaunt it, and the singularity of a piece of art fills that role. Some have a genuine appreciation for art, others merely use it as a tool. But nonetheless, skilled craftsmen, artists, and their work naturally gravitate towards those with power. It would be wise for you to consider dressing somewhat less pedestrian soon. Now, we should be able to put the former lord's possessions to good use in helping you build valuable relationships. You mean start handing out bribes? Indeed, but remember, they are negotiation tools. You must use them where they provide you the greatest returns. Negotiation, huh? Alright, I think I see what you're getting at. If I want to revitalize the city in a year, I'm going to need help from my good neighbors. In exchange for provisions and workers, I offer the various counts pieces from Barnier's collection. Sound about right? Precisely. My, you are much cleverer than I would expect of a man from the slums. Now, if only you would become accustomed to this manner of thinking, you could become a fine leader in short order. I appreciate the concern, old man. I'll dispatch messengers and arrange meetings with the count so we can begin anon. And I hope I do not have to remind you, but you will need to be very careful with your words, Lord Barnier. Yeah, I know. You seem quite tired, Lord Barnier. You think? Every day I have to go meet with someone new, and I spend all my travel time learning how to read and write. It's enough to exhaust anyone. It is necessary nonetheless. Illiteracy will only... Yes, I know. You said I look tired, I'm telling you why that is. I never said I had a problem with it. I overstepped. My apologies. Your diligence has been invaluable in earning the Count's favor, Lord Barnier. They think quite fondly of you. Is that so? Because that's certainly not the impression I'm getting. They put on a facade of friendliness, but beneath the surface they're all laughing, trying to figure out how to best use me, or just outright scoffing. Now, one of them sincerely trusts me. I'm just a pawn to them. We are all pieces on one another's boards. What's that supposed to mean? It would be most important to consider that unqualified friendship simply does not exist in high society. All interpersonal relationships are built upon a foundation of mutual benefit, save for exceedingly rare, short-lived exceptions. Nonetheless, you should not consider being used as a bad thing. We all climb atop each other's boards, offering ourselves up as a powerful piece. You know, for what's worth, this guy is a good consul. I will say, he is teaching him how to be a good leader and a good lord, but this is what's going to break him too, I believe. And then the fact that he starts not trusting people soon because the people he cares about, like as he said before in the main story, betray him. And so, do they offer themselves to us? Should you wish to survive in high society, you must always ensure your peers see you as a piece worth playing. That would mean you're putting yourself out there as well, old man. Indeed, I am your pawn, Lord Barnier. I offer myself to you, and in using me, I gain this position as consul to the Lord. This is a far practical and reliable system than one founded on something so uncertain as emotion, would you not say? Which is to say I'm a pawn to him as much as he is to me? I suppose so. Then I too will have to ensure I remain useful, lest I be swept aside and another Barnier brought in to take my place. Oh ho ho! Sharp words, my lord. I say my word. But worry not, for I have no qualms with your performance at present. Now, Lord Barnier, we must discuss your next... Hold on a sec, would you? Yes, sir? Do you mind not calling me Lord Barnier in private? I can understand why you'd want to keep up the charade even when no one's looking. But frankly, I'm just not comfortable with it. Very well. Then, my lord, it shall be. Can't say I'm surprised you won't use my real name, but still. Yeah, that'll do. Thank you. Not at all. Now back to business, my lord. Yeah, it bothers me whenever he says Lord Barnier. I'm like, It took long enough, but we're finally starting to see some real progress. Who knew negotiation was so much work? You should be proud of your accomplishments, my lord. 'Tis hardly an easy feat to amass that much manpower and resources in only 6 months. Doing better than expected, huh? How's public opinion looking? Reports should be coming in by now, I assume. Some dissatisfaction, but numbers are within expectations. Dissatisfied? With what? I spent every waking moment these past 6 months working my ass off to revitalize this city, and people aren't happy with that? They should be jumping with joy. My lord, you must understand that it is impossible to satisfy everyone. A degree of discontent is to be expected. Even so, it should be blindingly obvious how much better I'm doing than that previous basket of rainbows and kittens. All is forgotten in the gentle ebb and flow of time. Past injustices matter little in the face of the present. That's so true. Freaking... It hasn't even been a year! The people do not genuinely care about you, nor will they ever. They may sing your praises one day and forget about you the next. I believe we have been through this before. Surely there's someone out there who gets it. That is wishful thinking, my lord. You could work yourself to your very bones, and the people would merely see you as fulfilling your duty. You must not seek their approval. More will be expected of you, and more will you be the subject of undeserved resentment, for the simple reason that you exist in a position of power. Only those in a similar position can understand your hardships. Ultimately, then you have 2 choices. Either dedicate yourself in service of your people, or mercilessly exploit them like your predecessor. I won't follow in that bastard's footsteps. I pray your heart remains true, that you remain a wise and caring lord. Damn it. So what specifically aren't people happy about? The foremost is food shortages. This was anticipated, and all we can do is ask them to persevere. The second comes from the upper class. Go on. They are, quite naturally, displeased about being made to surrender their stockpiles. Oh, of course they are. It would be prudent to offer them remuneration in the near future. They're doing well enough for themselves already. My lord? I know, just laying out some steam. So I get to butter up all the rich men in town. Wonderful. The whole idea was to help the less well-off, yet here I am. I understand that you are not pleased about this, my lord, but do remember you have more to fear from a few of the upper class banding together than the entirety of the slums. For they wield a most troublesome weapon, an upper class upbringing. They know precisely who to tell, and what to tell about you to tarnish your reputation in the blink of an eye. And do not placate yourself by thinking the common man will see through the attempts to undermine you. Even if they did, an unlikely supposition, they could do nothing to counter it. They are powerless. But it was the people at the bottom who pulled most of the weight organizing and executing the revolution. It was an exceptional set of circumstances that allowed the revolution to take place as it did, not the least of which was the Lord's status as unequivocally evil in the eyes of the people. You will not find them all agreeing on anything so readily now. Alright, I get it. The point is, I gotta win over all the rich people or my whole operation is gonna come to a grinding halt, right? So as much as it rubs me the wrong way, I'll do what I have to do. A wise decision, my lord. Is that the last of the complaints? No, the influx of immigrants has caused an increase in general unrest. Of course it has. I bring them in to help with the restoration effort and they go and cause their own new set of problems. It's like I'm chasing my tail here. So long as there are people under your authority, never will you be completely free of strife. You're telling me. So would increasing the guards present in the city help keep the peace? Most of those with the training necessary are already deployed, meaning you would need to have new guards trained from the ground up. You will have to mobilize them where they are most needed. In other words, tighten your grip on the slums. So now I gotta take away their freedom? I know you have a personal attachment to that area, my lord, but you must cast that aside. No longer are you the man you once were. The slums should have never been allowed to fall into such lawlessness in the first place. You will merely be restoring it to its proper state. If you truly wish to bring prosperity to this land, you must eventually scale down and then eliminate the slums. But if I get rid of the slums, I'll be getting rid of their home. My lord, I know, I understand what you're getting at, and I understand that everything you're saying is perfectly logical. Can we hold off on that for a bit? A bunch of guys down there formed this peacekeeper group too. You know, keep the peace. They'd gladly help out if we could talk to them, I'm sure. We can scale our patrols, but no stepping on their toes. Got it? As you command, my lord. Hard to believe it's been a whole year. Wow. Alright guys, I'm going to have to end the video here for today. Thank you all for watching. We can already see the cracks in his leadership right now. Not because of him personally, but because of just the way the hierarchy works and when it comes to being a lord, king, what have you. So we're going to continue on in the next one, guys. Thank you all for watching.